All right. Well, jumping into things, we are confident that we're going to see an impactful snowfall for a large part of the area tonight into Friday. And main changes from yesterday is a continued increase in our forecast snow amounts with a widespread, close to 2 inches expected for a good part of the area with some higher localized amounts likely. And winter weather advisories are in effect for most inland areas to account for this. And widespread amounts close to 2 inches are expected, with localized amounts of 2 to 3 inches or a little bit more than that are likely in a band. Exactly where that is, there is some uncertainty, but it could potentially be over the Richmond metro or Tri-Cities, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. And another thing that has changed as the timing for snow is a little bit earlier. So the majority of snow is going to fall during the morning hours, starting a little bit after midnight, continuing through a good part of the morning before tapering off and transitioning into either drizzle or freezing drizzle, depending on surface temperatures. And the snow is going to stick very quickly to all surfaces, including roadways, just because temperatures are going to be below freezing Friday morning away from the bay and coast. And even a half inch or an inch of snow could cause issues, just given how cold the temperatures will be, especially inland. And winter weather advisories have been issued to account for the hazardous travel conditions that we do expect here. And we'll look at maybe expanding these a little bit today. But right now, this is what we have, with widespread 1 to 2, with some localized totals of 2 to 3, potentially up to 4, likely in a few spots, potentially in a band centered along or just south of I-64. Obviously, placement could vary by a couple of counties, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. Again, widespread 1 to 2 inch snowfall is expected, and with lesser amounts toward Southeast Virginia, Northeast North Carolina. These areas down here should mainly see rain, with potentially a little bit of snow here, but I mean certainly anywhere west of the bay and up through the eastern shore, temperatures will be cold enough for snow to stick to the roads and cause hazardous travel conditions. That includes a whole Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, and into the Williamsburg area as well. We do have a winter weather advisory for James City County in effect. So this is a potential reasonable worst case scenario. So while most areas aren't going to see that 3 to 4, there could be a band of 3 to 4, a couple of counties wide. Again, probably somewhere in here. It could be a little bit north by a county or two than what this is showing, but not everyone is going to see this. This is a reasonable worst case scenario, as there is a little bit of uncertainty regarding the exact location of the heaviest band. And if temperatures are a little colder than expected, we could see an inch of snow down here. But right now, we're expecting temperatures to be just warm enough for just a light coating as you get into our far southeast parts of the area. But we'll be monitoring this, and we will send an updated briefing this afternoon. Our probabilities for 2 inches of snow are pretty high as you get further inland, and that's where the winter weather advisory is in effect, with some chance for 3 inches of snow, and there will likely be a band of 3-inch totals, as we've discussed here. But it could shift a little further north than this, but right now we're thinking somewhere just to the south of I-64, kind of oriented west to east, like this. You could see, some 3-inch or a little bit more, up to 4, potentially in a few spots. In terms of onset timing, the snow will likely begin between 1 and 3 a.m. in the Piedmont, 3 to 5 a.m. in the along the I-95 corridor, or in closer to 4 or 5, maybe 6 a.m. closer to the coast, with areas in southeast Virginia and northeast North Carolina seeing mostly rain with this event. In terms of the snow character, you're going to see a fairly light, fluffy snow, especially as you get further north, becoming a little bit heavier and wetter later in the morning as we get closer to that transition to drizzle or freezing drizzle, depending on surface temperatures. And peak snowfall rates generally occurring between 4 and 8, 4 and 9 in the morning. Probably not seeing higher rates than maybe half to 3/4 of an inch an hour at times with this event, but nevertheless, that with the cold temperatures, still hazardous travel conditions are likely, very likely. And in terms of that freezing drizzle, the greatest threat is going to be in the Piedmont and into the I-95 corridor, where temperatures are really going to struggle to get above freezing, and you'll likely stay at or just below freezing in these areas. So on top of the snow, there will likely be just a little bit of a glaze of ice, and that just could create some additional hazards, especially on those secondary and untreated roadways. So stepping through the actual forecast here, you can see temperatures dropping below freezing in most areas. Obviously, where we're expecting all rain, it will be warmer, but where it's going to snow, for the most part, you're going to be below freezing. So it'll accumulate on roadways pretty quickly, then transitioning to just some freezing drizzle during the afternoon, and that could potentially continue through part of Friday night, especially in the Piedmont and west of 95. So we'll be monitoring that as we head through this afternoon and tonight and into tomorrow. And then after that, most of the snow will be gone on Saturday, as we'll be well above freezing, with another shot of cold air likely early next week, although precipitation chances have trended down with that system, and moderating by the middle of next week. And then marine-wise, nothing beyond small crafts expected, with the peak winds occurring later today and tonight. Nothing really out of the ordinary for this time of year, with winds subsiding Friday morning and not much of a threat of wind with this snow event. And just lastly, with that next system, could see a surge of solid small crafts Sunday night and Monday. And with that, I will go back to the summary slide, and I'll stay on here as long as I need to, and feel free to type in any questions into the chat. And thank you for your time. And I'll stop the recording here.